Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, hi there. You're audible.
Uh,
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, Dev, if you could switch on your webcam.
yeah,
Hi Dev. Hello.
hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hope you are doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, my name is Honi Projit and I would be in your interview for today's session. So if you could brief me with your introduction.
Yeah, so I'm a BTech student fourth year from the branch of Biosciences and Bioengineering. I am actually very interested more towards the technical field. Like you can see from my resume, I'm more towards the development side and mobile development and web development part. Okay, but I've also tried to explore several things in my college life, like the social, cultural groups which I have been a part of
Mhm.
in these 4 years, like UBA. For social group, I have been a part of Spec and cultural groups also. Social group is UBA and the cultural group is Spec. And for technical
Okay.
group, I have been a part of Aries and I've done several internships in the development part. So at the end, I stuck up with that development only. I really liked it.
Okay. That is good. Like apart from tech, you are quite involved in all these social activities and all these things. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, even I also like sports. I actually had a gold medal in kabaddi tournament in my inter hostel.
Oh, that's great. Like we should be focusing not only on studies, but yeah, for the curricular and extracurricular activities. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, Dev, coming to your project, you have listed down that you acted as a technical manager in this social summit website at NSS IT Roorkee. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like three. First of all, like what was your role there? Like as a technical manager, what responsibilities you had, and again, what technologies did you use to build this website front end? So yeah.
Okay. So basically, my major role was towards like I was in social summit in my third year when I was doing it. Okay, so at that time we were handled different managerial roles for different work. Like we were
Mhm.
distributed different tasks and were given different web pages to form a complete social summit website. I was one of the managers who was making websites and uh, the tech stack which I was using was basically React. JavaScript was used as a language, and
Mhm.
in front end, I also worked with some of my fourth year seniors in Social Summit only. And more or less, the major challenging part was basically the real-time managing of all the data. Like the registrations were open
Mhm.
for at all the times, and it was actually a deadline time thing. Like very fast, the whole deadline was coming, and we have to do it in that only. The development and
Okay.
design team coordination was also there.
And how did you ensure the website's responsiveness, like for different devices?
Yeah, basically, initially we started with the like Bootstrap is a good thing for better website responsiveness, but
Mhm.
it actually makes the code a bit slow if you are working on a larger environment. Like Bootstrap actually uses a lot of inbuilt codes which are not useful at all the times.
Mhm.
So later we shifted to CSS only, like Flexbox we used in that
Okay.
for better responsiveness.
Okay, that is good. And like, can you tell me, like, I think you went with the React JS in this particular project.
Yes, sir.
So, like, what was the main reason you choose React over Angular? Like, what particular thought process, or why you choose React over Angular?
Um, Basically, I didn't. Basically, the major reason of choosing React over other like web platforms over other web platforms was basically due to the single web page applications, which was faster to use in React.
Okay,
Like,
so that way, like React was more available. It is more faster, and the library is also easy to learn compared to Angular. So that's why you choose React, I believe.
yeah, and actually React is more reliable also in the kind like it's from a reliable company. It's a part of that's why that's why the code doesn't change very decently. Like in the new versions also, if afterwards the new version come, then also it doesn't change a lot from the previous versions.
Mhm.
Like in Firebase, which we were using before, and for the backend part, the new version was completely different from the previous one. So updating these things would be a much difficult task than using the React. Like ES6 and ES7 updates are easily accessible for people and easily you use, easy to understand.
Okay, so like there is a concept of components which is also in React as well as in Angular. So what do you understand by components and how they are useful?
Yeah, components and props are basically useful. Like in HTML, let's just take an example. Like when I used to code in HTML, I have to
Mhm.
make if I wanted to make a small card, okay, and make 5 cards on the whole page, okay, then reduce it repeatedly. Then for that, I had to make the code of the card, then copy paste every time I need to use that card. And the same would be for the buttons, for the images size and everything else. But
Correct.
to maintain the consistency in a web page, mostly all the size of buttons and all the size of images, the whole card shape, every different web pages of a website are mostly same. So that's where the use of component comes. We make one component of a whole thing and then make a different file of that. And whenever we wanted to use that component, we just import that file and use that component multiple times. This not only gives a better view for the coder to understand the whole thing, the thing becomes very haphazard when we copy paste everything. We just had to write one code line of the component, then it just comes
Okay.
here.
So can I say like component also is advantageous considering when we take off example of like Gmail or YouTube, like when you click on one particular mail or you when you click on particular tab or website, so sometimes the whole page refreshes. But in which if we take components, so that particular component or section is itself is getting used. Let's say we take the example of Twitter or Facebook. Let's say I we millions of people are using, so one person likes one page, so in the real time you get the total number of likes, so in that way component is useful, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah, so that way also like we can say. Okay, so there's
yes.
also a concept of state and props, so can you differentiate between these two in React?
Props and state. Um, I think like props, I know, like for props, so we actually give props for the components and then we change those props and the whole component thing changes. Like the basic structure we make as a component. And if we want to change anything inside that structure, we change the props. Like for a button, let me just give an example. For a button, if you give a border radius and size and pass size as a prop, okay, so the same button would be of different sizes in different components of different websites, of different web pages of our website. Okay, we don't have to make component for different buttons. Just changing the prop would make our thing go easier. And
So it
as
will
we go for
yeah, go ahead for state yours speaking. Yeah,
And I don't remember about states. Like I think it's mostly used in classes part when we
yeah,
define for classes.
like it is component specific, like data that can change over time. And
Okay,
props is mainly used like when you need to transfer data from parent to child components or like that.
okay.
Okay, so that's little bit specific. Otherwise, what you told that is also good. That is also correct, but that's like more specific. Like okay, where we need to tell like where exactly props are used and state are used. Okay.
Okay, sure.
One more question from React, since I see you have like good knowledge in React. So like there is a concept called Redux in React. So do you know like what is Redux and when it is used?
Redux is I'm not sure about all the advantages, but one of the advantage which I've personally used in Redux and basically in Recoil also I use that advantage. Like basically we make a parent component for which we would be using in multiple different JS files. Like if we want to change something in one JS file and we want it to reflect on any other JS file at the same time. So we make that thing a complete parent component, and from that we can global variables is the best use of Redux, which I have
Okay.
used recently.
Okay. Valid enough. Okay, so yeah, you mentioned about Bootstrap. So like my the question is like there is a grid system in Bootstrap. If you have heard was like call LG2, call MT4, have you heard these terms or used? So
Yes.
my question is, I will give you three notations. First is call LG4. You can note it down. Yeah, you can note it down.
Mm,
Call LG4,
mm,
call MD4,
mm.
and call SM3.
Okay.
So what is the difference between these three? Like what difference it will create? These three, how these three are different?
LG for like LG is for large, MD is for mid, and SM is for small. Basically, call is for the column or row. If you want to do in row, it's like dividing the row would be like row, and if you want to divide it in columns, would be call. Okay, and the four is basically the amount of parts we want to divide in the whole component. Basically, the grid is divided into 12 components. Okay, and
12
the
units.
size of
Yeah.
each component would be large or medium or small. And four is the part, like 1/4 of the whole 12 components, like four of the 12 components of
Yeah.
large size we want.
Yeah. Now you are correct. Yeah. So it will basically every block will comprise of 4 units. So total there are 12. So total call LG4 means 3 units, 4, 4, 4. And that way last one 3 was there. So 3, 3, 3 into 4, 12 like that. Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. Okay. So coming to your DS aspect. So like first of all, like have you heard this concept called hashing in data structure?
Yes.
Okay, so like what do you know mean by hashing and like when collision occurs in hash map?
Collision. Like basically we use hash maps whenever we want to store some data with key and value pairs. Like in Python, we have dictionary. The same thing is in C++, we have maps or hash maps. So whenever you want to store, like it's specifically there is a value for some keywords, we then use hash maps. And there is collision when we have when we want to store multiple values with the same key. Then we have to use like multi maps or two-dimensional maps in that.
Okay. And like, do you know if any like technique which is available to avoid this collision in the hash map? Any like how can you avoid this collision?
Yeah, actually, which I told, like multi-map we can use. We
Hmm.
can actually use like vectors in maps. Like basically in graphs, what we do is like two-dimensional pairs we make.
Hmm.
For we can make a map which has int in one part and the map in other. So like into two map, we can make a pair. In that way,
Yeah,
we can put.
yeah. That is of course we have chaining, we have open addressing that also we can use.
Okay,
These are
okay,
other
sir.
two methods. Okay. And like there is a also concept called like memorization in dynamic programming. So why do we use memorization specifically?
So basically, the main use of memoization came after after the first basic is recursion. Okay, the recursion is basically calling itself after a specific interval of time. So later and later we got to know that the recursion is also calling the same thing once again. Okay,
Okay.
like basically, if we want to divide something, like first we use 4. Okay, then 4 will be divided into 2 and 2, and then in the first part 2 will be divided into 1. Okay, so in the second part also, when 4 divides into 2, then 2 divides into 1. We have to also calculate this part also, where 2 is dividing into 1. But memoization actually reduces our time in when it just substitutes the value of 2 which has come from this part into this part also. Basically, memoization is like reusing the data which we have occupied previously, so that we do not recalculate everything once again.
Okay. So that is
So
correct
that
actually. So
just
it helps to use reduce data redundancy and like we can use that data. We don't need to like use that same data. So the data redundancy is reduced. Correct.
yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. And
And
like time complexity is also improved.
also
Yeah.
reduced, like from 2 to the power n, it comes to n into m. basically.
Yeah. So it, of course, from exponential, it comes to a multiplication form.
It
So
comes
yeah, of course,
to
it's a
multiplication.
beneficial for the
Good.
program or code. So yeah, one more thing, like there are different sorting techniques. So we have merge sort, quick sort, radix sort. So my question to you is like, in like which is the better one in day-to-day life, quick sort or merge sort? Like in general, if you want to use, like which will you will use and why?
Basically, I would try to use merge sort in every case. Like for the quick sort, there is a possibility. Like in the best case, quick sort performs as n log n time complexity, but it also goes to its worst case in which we has it takes n square time complexity. N is the total length of the array which we are talking about. And but the merge sort. For merge sort, the worst time complexity, best time complexity, as well as the average time complexity, all of them are n log n. So it would be better in any case applicable.
Yeah. So yes, but here my counter question to you is like, let's say you are telling merge sort, but in merge sort it comes with a demerit. Like every time you do divide, so there is a space in terms of space complexity. Quick sort is better because merge sort extra space it is taking. So don't you think like in that way quick sort will win over merge sort?
Uh, Quick sort and merge sort. Yeah, if we are talking about using of
Specifically
space,
about space
then
complexity.
in
Yeah.
space complexity.
Yeah, yeah. So that way, that more or less what you told is correct. But yeah, of course, this is the loophole where merge shot loses over quick shot, so that you can supplement in this answer. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Coming to like you must have got one link for the coding part, coder pad. If you could open that link.
Yes, a coder pad. It's something.
Yeah,
Uh, can I? Should I have to share my screen or?
yeah, yeah, better. That will be better.
Okay, so screen. Uh, is my screen visible? This is the thing.
Yeah, correct only. Okay, I'll give you one question. Just wait. Okay. So in this on the screen, you can see there is a question is given. You are given different kind of input strings in this question. So what you need to do, you need to find the longest substring. So in the first case, you see ABC is a kind of a substring. So it is of a length 3. So that way it will comprise of a substring. Again,
Hmm.
you see the in the next one only a single B is possible, which is continuous. Correct?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the third one, the answer will be WKE because you see WK is a substring with 3 letters possible. So basic aim being you need to find the longest substring. So in the first one, ABC is a substring because it is possible to go continuously from A to C that way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically,
Uh,
in your substring, every character should be unique. In the to
mhm.
make it more clear, in you see like in the first example, I could have told CABC, but two C's are coming, so that can't be a unique substring. Now ABC is a unique substring
Yes.
because ABC is coming only once in this proper substring. So of course ABC will be
Hmm.
the longest unique substring. In the next question, only a single B will come. Why a single B will come? Because if I take two B's as a substring, so again two B's are coming. So the longest substring will be single B. Similarly, in the third question, I could have told WKEW or I could have taken PWWK. So, but two W's are coming, so that can't be a largest substring. So the answer will be WKE because here all three are unique and this is a continuous substring. So that way you need to solve. Am I clear?
Okay. Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
get clear. So I just want to ask you one thing, like in the code, should I start with like the whole syntax, like a hashtag include, should I write the code
No,
here
no.
or in this part?
I have given I have given you see in the solution aspect here. Line number 14.
Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah. You can right
14,
now you
like
can
from
focus on writing
17.
the yeah from 7.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. So before starting writing any code, I just want to discuss like how I would approach this problem.
Yeah,
In
perfect.
the first thing, I actually think that in the first place, the string is ABC, ABC, and BB.
Mhm,
So the one of the approach which comes in my mind is like first I start from the first word, the first letter of the string, A B
mhm,
C A B C B B. So basically, I would reach till the point I don't get any same value. Like I would store everything in my map, and
mhm,
I would move to the point till I didn't reach any value which have the same value, like A B C, and after that A comes, then I stop.
mhm. Okay.
Okay, then I
Mhm,
would do the second iteration from B. I would go to B, C, A. Then the B comes and I would stop. I
yeah.
would take the count in every step. Okay, then after I go from C, then after this next iteration, I'll go from A and till then.
Mhm,
But one of the problem which I see in this approach is like it would take a time complexity of total n square. N is the length of string.
yeah.
Starting from every first digit, it would take a total time of n square. So now I think that a better approach could be using two pointers.
Okay. Yeah, that's where you can compare the string from the first iterator like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So basically, I would be moving my string from the first part. You can see my cursor.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, sir. So I could be moving, I could make two different variables, I and
Mhm,
j, and
mhm,
I would be putting I in the first place and moving j till the time I don't get the second word which is present in it. Okay, if I get this a, then I would remove this a and move it forward
mhm.
and would take this a.
Yeah, so that way, of course, two pointer can surely be used here. So you can use both actually. Two pointer will be, of course, a better approach to write the number of lines of code. I think it will be less compared to another or hash map which we are using.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Now I think I would start the code.
yeah, you can start with the coding part.
Is there any issue? Why is it?
If yeah, I think it is fine only
Yeah, but there is some squiggly inside.
because right now we have written some text also now. You see, in that there is some text given a string. All those things we have written. So that thing we have written. So that's why it is giving throwing some error because of that text which is irrelevant compared to the coding aspect.
Okay, so
Yeah, once you will delete all those irrelevant text now apart from the coding, so it will auto improve that bug or error. That library file is also not there. That's why I think that.
Excellent. So basically, I'm trying to in this part, I have actually stated that if there, I'm trying to find S of J. If it is actually not present in the map, then I would be inserting that thing in the map and increasing its value, like frequency. Okay, and I would increase the count, and I would
Okay.
also increase the pointer of J. But if I actually get that, actually I get if there's present in the map beforehand in the else part, then I have to move the I till I actually don't get J part, like which is actually on the J part, like in the A. Okay, when I get A here, okay, I would start moving I from the first pointer, then I would increase the I value later on. Okay, like just take an example. If there is B and there is no A in this example, okay, then I would go A, B, C. Then if there is B, okay, then I would be removing the I, making I pointer move from A and removing the occurrences of A in this.
So you will be counting with that first pointer the total number of occurrence and then going comparing with the right one. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In this case,
See if you could reduce
uh,
the number of lines of this code. I believe there could be some minimization in the number of lines.
number of lines,
Yeah, yeah, the code length.
like I could reduce like by putting it here.
Like maybe like you can use a while loop for comparing. If you since you have used map, so maybe you have used a while loop maybe.
In which, sir?
Like this condition is also fine, like you're using if and else, but with I think with some minor modification, this without if else also you can use a map, and that way we can use that while loop, so that way you can get the solution here, like a for loop and then again a while loop. Otherwise that this is also acceptable, no issue, but that's my personal suggestion, like without if else you can, with the while loop and for loop you can use.
Yes, I can also use that. But I feel much comfortable in this. I would later on implement that also if I
Okay, so if
the solution.
you are confident enough with this particular class solution, so just take a sample test case from the example which I have given in the main, and let's see if your solution turns out to be correct.
Okay, sir. Just give me a second. I'm trying. I have not completed the code. I'm trying it now also.
Yeah, sure, sure. Take your time.
If this is equal to 1, then I would be erasing it. Okay, so I think it's completed.
Okay, just take the sample string from there.
Okay, so
From the example, you can maybe go with the first one.
okay, so I have never worked on it. How could I run it? Like,
Yeah, that have you used that in int menu? One scroll up.
oh, no, sir, matlab, I haven't used it. How to put the input in this? Like, I've never worked over
Okay,
it.
okay. Wait, I'll help you. First of all, you see in the int main, this is the see line number 8. Scroll up.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So here, add your sample string. Like considering you need to use this class here now.
For character constant words of words,
You
hello world.
modify the int main with considering your solution, and there you will take the input for that for this particular question. Yeah, that is the sample which they keep for every question. You can erase that thing now. For the int when you can use according to your
Oh,
solution code
okay.
solution. That's what I'm saying. Like you normally do in
Oh,
any
okay.
code editor. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. I was actually not able to.
Yeah. That I know. I understand. That was a little bit like from a sample data or inputs they have given. For the, like
Okay. Mm, I can.
yeah, it is all those irrelevant things that is not required. Yeah, commit that out. I think we are
Okay.
yeah good to execute our code. Yeah. Okay, it is still running. Okay. Give your input. I think yeah you can give it.
Not returning anything like.
Okay, do one thing. We can check like the return only see out as like one or some number. We will see whether it is like yeah. Oh, wait. Now enter that input. Now the final it is it has been compiled. Now enter it
What's
is
that?
this thing and then press it is this thing. Yeah, it is.
It can't be raised, sir.
Wait.
Reset.
It's still running. It is taking longer than expected. By now, it should have like,
No, but actually I only printed out LL. I
yeah,
think there's some.
yeah. That's why I'm also waiting. Normally, it should not happen. Your like that LL should print actually. You are correct, but yeah, that's what I am also observing. It's taking longer than expected.
Yes, sir.
Do one thing. Like, have you
Mm,
used any other like Git? There is one more now in C++ we use normally code, or you have VS Code in your device that you can use.
yes, sir. I use VS Code usually. Just
Yeah,
give me a
better.
minute, I would start.
Yeah.
My laptop is also showing very.
Overall, your time complexity of this like it is taking longer than usual time to compile. I am satisfied with the approach, but still somehow I had doubt with the like overall compilation. That's why I asked you to compile.
Compilation is done actually, but I'm not able to produce here also. Like I'm only seeing C out here in the main part. Then also it's not able to produce it.
And there are no bugs also.
Get it why it's not working properly.
Click on output. Second tab. Problems output terminal. See there's output also there. Down.
Okay.
Output. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I now get the problem. I have to put the string here. Okay.
Okay. Now take that sample string.
Mhm. Oh, it's showing error actually.
Okay, Dave. Anyway, like this approach looks fine for me. So yeah, maybe you can like after the interview you can like debug. Okay, where did the fault was there. Okay.
Mm. Okay, so.
Okay. Okay. So not to worry. Like overall, you have used a correct data structure. Your approach is fine. The way you have explained the algorithm, that is also fine. So sometimes it happens like we are not able to debug at that very moment. So yeah, there's it happens. So okay, so they like apart from this, have what else you have covered in CS fundamentals? Like have you covered your OOPS, DVMS, all these things?
So I've covered my oops, like the concept of abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, and all. And I have not completed, but yeah, started a bit of DBMS, like around. I have ER model I've done before.
Okay, and
Uh,
what about computer networks and operating system?
no, sir, not that much command in computer networks and operating system right now.
Okay,
Like,
I'll ask. Yeah, you're telling something.
no, nothing, sir. Like, I was just a bit confused, like how much to study in computer networks and operating system.
Okay, Okay, so yeah, I will ask from Oops. So first of all, w- give me real example of polymorphism and abstraction, like where it is used in real life.
Polymorphism and abstraction. Uh, okay, so basically, OOPS and polymorphism and abstraction are basically two main pillars of OOPS. Like there are basically four: encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Okay. About telling about abstraction, it's basically when we don't know the method, like how the whole thing is executed, but we just know the result of our method. One of a real world example, best real world example for me is this laptop only, or the keyboard or anything. Like if I press a key and if I write a code, okay, just take an example, like I'm writing this code. I don't know how when I press the letter S in my laptop, it's able to execute the letter S in my VS Code. I just know about the first part, like giving the method and I'm seeing the results. I'm giving my method, I'm giving my input, and just I see the output. I don't know how it's actually executed. Basically, we know that in binary only computer understands the language.
Okay, only the necessary part is shown and unnecessary part of working is hidden that way. Okay.
Yes, sir. The main
Okay.
part is hidden and we don't know about it.
Mhm.
And the one more, and for about
Polymorphism.
polymorphism,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's basically whenever we use the same function multiple times for different tasks. Okay. Uh, for better understanding, let's talk about the operators. Okay. If I use the plus operator, if I use the plus operator with one and two integers, okay, it would give me three. But if I use the plus operator with a and b, or even if I take 1 and 2 as different characters, then the same plus operator would give me 1, 2 as an answer, or a, b as an answer. It won't add a and b, and it won't add 1 and 2. So the same operator giving different values, like could be used for different functionalities at multiple time. That's called polymorphism.
Okay, so like polymorphism, as we have polygon in mathematics, so like multiple possibilities. So same polymorphism, different kind of forms a class or object can take. That way, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So DVMS, what topic you told you have covered?
Yeah, so basically about more or less like how the models are represented, and a bit about databases, a bit I know a bit about SQLs from my development part.
Okay, so what do you know? Like,
Uh,
what is the use of joins in DBMS?
Joins. Joins are basically used in SQL. I can specify like whenever there are two tables given, okay, and we want some specific data from first table and some specific data from second table, and we want to join those data according to a specific value, according to some key which are present in both the tables. Then we use
Okay.
that key as the medium and would join both those arrays.
Hmm.
At
So,
that
yeah,
point, we use join.
and the concept of primary key, like what is primary key?
Yes, a primary key is actually whenever we talk about a database. Okay, the whole database is made, and there is some key over which all the other factors are dependent. Okay, there is a like talking about the maps. Okay, it's stored in that map form only. A primary key is unique for every particular value and its whole row. So the whole identity of the whole row is basically dependent on that key. Like as in my college, it's enrollment number in our college. Like
Correct.
for that one.
So that's where primary key comes into picture. Correct.
Yes. To
Okay.
uniquely identify.
Yeah. So one like interesting question, since you are primarily coding C++, I believe.
Yes.
So
What?
your primary coding language is C++, no?
Yes, in data structures, I use C++.
So like what advantage you face using C++? Like normally coders use C++ in coding concerts and coding contexts and on this kind of situation. So what advantage C++ have compared to other coding languages like Java, Python?
Yeah. The first thing about in talking about Python, like Python is a better user-friendly language, but it's not a computer-friendly language. In better words, like there is no compiler in Python. That's why the whole program runs a bit slow. Uh, in this C++, which I actually use the code G++, this actually the compilation time which converts my whole code into a better language that computer can understand. That's why the whole process is much more faster. That's
That
why
is
I
correct.
use C++.
Yeah.
Uh,
Also, yeah, go ahead. You were telling something more.
Uh, Basically, and the other one is Java is also a good language. I don't have any particular demerits of Java than C++. Java and C++ is more or less every person use. But for a better understanding, I have studied C++ better in this. And JavaScript also one of the languages which I have used in my development part. But JavaScript is not that comfortable with competitive coding when we come to this part.
And yeah, also we can add like C++ has a greater standard template library, so that helps useful while coding. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, this brings us to the closer of this interview. It was a very nice session to have a talk with you. You are a like front end developer like me. I'm also front end developer. I usually code in Angular, so that's from React. I was quite interested in getting the response at you. I believe you were on third or fourth year, third year. Third year,
In
na?
fourth year,
So
I'm
yeah,
actually.
fourth year. Yeah. So considering that aspect, project wise, you are well aware of the React concept. So that amazed me. So that is good. So now, yeah, it's open to you. You can ask me any suggestions or feedback which you wish would be helpful for you. So you may ask.
Yes, I actually want some feedback, like what should I improve and what positive points which I had in my interview, which I should sharpen upon. If you could just help me with.
Okay, coming first to the positive. So, yeah, you the coding wise, the you have a like good knowledge of coding, what is expected since your primary branch is not computer science, yours is bio
Bioscience.
bioscience. So yeah, that is a plus factor considering you are able to compete with a computer science guy. So if you are able to develop that much coding skills, so that is plus point. Then again, DS question wise, normally the hashing question which I ask. So three parts I ask: hashing, what is collision, how it can be avoided. So those things also in depth knowledge you have about DS. So that was good at that point. Then again, coming to the negative part, the CS fundamentals, you need see this is a all everything is a kind of competition with that's why where we compete. So one second, sorry. So the thing is like if you are able to gain some knowledge about CS fundamentals like DBMS, computer networks and all, so you will always have a great edge compared to other guys competing for the same job. So I will strongly urge you to, even if you don't want to go to the from scratch the concept, just Google it down 50 top interview questions related to DBMS, 100 from Geeks for Geeks or some interview bit, and just like or if you don't know able to understand, just take a YouTube video of 2 minutes short, something like that, and just give one week to each other. See the improvement you will have compared to other things, because coding will not only helpful in the project now, because you also know in real project you need to learn other technology. So that was one negative part. And second, body language wise, okay, you are confident, but sometimes try to be a little bit cheerful, like okay, when the person interview asking, so it's like yeah, okay, so that rhythm goes on, okay, I'm like person like for me, I don't consider like I don't keep this thing as a priority. But yeah, other interviews, some they have different, like by evening they have taken 7 to 8 interviews. So it is like you also go have a drowning phase. So they are like, okay, let's do a like formality kind of. So just be a little bit cheerful and like joyful. So yeah, like enthusiasm should be going on. So that yeah.
Okay. So thank you so
So
much.
yeah, that's what.
Anything else, sir?
No, I think detailed feedback you will be receiving. I will be giving you a detailed feedback. So yeah, that is fine. And yeah, best of luck. So just keep on coding and just you can also have some interviews informal with your friends and all colleagues and also that is more grateful. I used to do that thing also. So apart from this, of course, these formal ones are important, but informal ones like short 10 to 15 minutes, like while having your snacks or something. So that
Okay, sir.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think we are done here. Yeah,
Thank you so much,
one second.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Just stay on the line. I think yeah,
So, hello, am I
yeah,
audible?
yeah. You are.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. I just have a few questions to ask from Dave, so may drop the call. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Can I get off the call? I wasn't. Okay. So, number